Hello everyone, welcome to my class. This is Dr. G. Pranita, Assistant Professor of Chemistry working in Government Degree College for Women, Begumpet, Hyderabad. So in last class, we were discussed about the phenols, classification, preparation methods, physical properties of the phenols, as well as we were discussed about the few chemical properties like Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Schotten-Baumer reaction. So in this class, I am going to explain about the remaining chemical properties of the phenols, as well as I am going to explain about ethers. So let us see the next chemical properties of the phenols. So this is the Waterman reaction. So these are all the named reactions like Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Schotten-Baumer reaction, Gattermann reaction. All these named reactions are very, very important for the exam point of view. Like theoretical exam point of view as well as entrance exam point of view also. So in this Gattermann reaction, so the main reactant is a benzene, as well as we can take the phenols, any aromatic compounds, either benzene or any electron donating groups which are substituted to the aromatic ring when it reacts with the hydrogen cyanide in the presence of HCl as well as AlCl3, which is act as a Lewis acid, then the product is benzaldehyde. Suppose if we take the only benzene, then the product is benzaldehyde. But here I have taken the phenol as a reactant. So when it reacts with the phenol with the hydrogen cyanide in the presence of HCl as well as the AlCl3, then the product is salicylaldehyde. Any aromatic compounds when it reacts with the hydrogen cyanide in the presence of HCl, AlCl3, then the product is benzaldehyde or substituted aldehyde. If you see the mechanism of the Gattermann reaction here, the reactant is a hydrogen cyanide HCN. So when it reacts with the HCl in the presence of AlCl3, here, as we all know, here carbon and nitrogen is more electron donating group, as well as on the nitrogen which is having the lone pair of electrons which gives the electrons to this Lewis acid, because in this AlCl3 aluminum trifluoride, this aluminum which is having the vacant orbital. So to this vacant orbital, nitrogen will donate the electrons and make the bond between the nitrogen as well as Al. Then here, because of this pi bond electron shifted to nitrogen, here carbon will get partial positive charge. Then at the same time, this Cl will be attacked here. So this compound will be formed. Then in the next step, this compound, this imine compound, when it reacts with the benzene, otherwise we can take here it is the phenol. Phenol also we can take. Then in the presence of AlCl3, then one of the pi bonding electron shifted to this carbon, then which gives the electrons to this carbon, then simultaneously this Cl group will be eliminated. So this imine group on further hydrolysis, then we will get here this group, complete group will be eliminated. Here oxygen will be substituted here. So finally aldehyde group is substituted. So if we take as a reactant as a benzene ring, so then final product is benzaldehyde. If you take the reactant as phenol, then the final product is salicylaldehyde. So this is the Gattermann reaction. Another reaction is Hauben-Hosch reaction. So Hauben-Hosch reaction also we can take the risarcinol as a reactant here. So in this case also here, as we all know, these groups are electron donating groups to the benzene ring. So when this risarcinol is nothing but OH groups are substituted at one position. Then this risarcinol, when it reacts with the methyl cyanide. So in this Gattermann reaction, the reactant is similarly the benzene we can take, or any electron donating group like OH groups substituted on the benzene rings also we can take. But the another reactant is hydrogen cyanide. Whereas in this Hauben-Hosch reaction, another reactant is methyl cyanide. Okay, this is the difference for the Gattermann reaction as well as Hauben-Hosch reaction. Similarly, this is also Lewis acid, HCl as well as zinc fluoride. Then here, as we are all knowing, the presence of electron donating group, or we can take simple benzene also, then what will happen? This group is completely substituted as a ketone. Whereas here in this Gattermann reaction, aldehyde group is substituted, but in Hauben-Hosch reaction, ketone group. ketone CU double bond O CH3 ketone group is substituted on the benzene. This reaction is called as Haber-Bosch reaction. If you see the mechanism here, the mechanism of the reaction involves in two steps. The first step is a nucleophilic addition to the nitride with the aid of polarizing Lewis acid, forming an imine group, which is later hydrolyzed during an aqueous, then finally which yields to the ketone group. Then as we all know, we can take here benzene as a reactant, otherwise we can take the OH group substituted benzene compounds also we can take, because these OH groups are electron donating groups. And so in the presence of electron donating group which gives the electrons to here, then simultaneously this pi bonding electron shift reverse to here, then simultaneously this pi bonding electrons will shifted here. Here this carbon will get negative charge. So in the presence of any electron donating group, ortho and para positions will have the more electron density. Then so here, because here it is having the minus charge, so this carbon is having the positive charge, because here nitrogen is a more electron withdrawing group. So in the presence of the Lewis acid which gives the electrons to here, then simultaneously this pi bonding electron shift reverse to this carbon. So like this here, which hemine compound will be produced. Then in the next step here, because here this hydrogen which gives electrons to this again aromatic compound, simultaneously this pi bonding electron shifted to here, then simultaneously again this pi bonding electron shifted to this oxygen will get minus charge, again it will react by combining with the H plus, which produces the phenol. Again, for this imine, on further hydrolysis, wherever NH group is there, that NH group is converting into oxygen. So finally, this compound will be produced as a ketone. Here, ortho group in the Gartenmann reaction, aldehyde group is substituted on the benzene ring, whereas in Haber-Bosch reaction, ketone group is substituted on the benzene ring. We can take here simple benzene as a reactant, as well as we can take the like phenols or resorcinol also we can take. But the another reactant is the methyl cyanide in the Haber-Bosch reaction, whereas in the Gartenmann reaction, another reactant is HCl. So these are the two named reactions also very, very important. Next, if we observe the, as we all know, phenols are, in the phenols, OH group is electron donating group. So in the presence of this group at ortho position as well as para position, more electron density is present. Hence, any electrophile is able to attack at the ortho position as well as para position. So if you see the nitration as an electrophilic substitution reaction, so this phenol, when it reacts with the dilute HNO3, that is nitric acid, in the presence of H2SO4, that is a concentrated sulfuric acid, then from this mixture is called as nitratic mixture. From this HNO3, H2SO4, the electrophile is NO2 plus. NO2 plus, that is the nitronium ion. This nitronium ion, because in the phenol at ortho position as well as para position, more electron density will be present, then electrophile can able to attack at the ortho position as well as para position. So here ortho nitrophenol, again here it is the, here nitro group should be present here, but which is not here. So another compound is the para nitrophenol. Similarly, phenol, when it reacts with the concentrated nitric acid, here which we have taken diluted nitric acid, here which we have taken concentrated nitric acid in the presence of sulfuric acid, then which gives the 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Why? Because here in the presence of the OH group, which is highly electron donating group, then at ortho as well as para position, more electron density will be present. So in the presence of the concentrated nitric acid, strong electrophile will be generated that will be attacked at ortho as well as para position, then which will generate the 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. This common name is picric acid. Then another one is the halogenation. So phenol, when it reacts with the bromine in the presence of carbon disulfide at 0 degrees temperature, from this halogen, that is the Br plus, can able to attack at the ortho position, then which produces the orthobromophenol, as well as it can attack at the para position, then which produces the parabromophenol. So whereas when phenol, when it reacts with the bromine in the presence of water, then which produces the 2,4,6 tribromophenol. That means depends upon the reagent. The reactants are same. Here also phenol and bromine. Here also phenol and bromine. The reaction conditions, because as we all know, which is the electron donating group. So ortho para positions, more electron density will be present. So depending upon the reaction conditions, either these products will be generated or these products will be generated. In all these reactions are examples of the electrophilic substitution reactions. Similarly, another reaction is the phenol when it reacts with the sulfuric acid at 20 degrees temperature, then which produces the phenyl sulfonic acid, that is orthophenol sulfonic acid. Whereas phenol, when it reacts with the sulfuric acid in the presence of high temperature, which produces the paraphenol sulfonic acid. That means here its bulky group is substituted at ortho position, whereas at high temperature bulky group is, that is sulfonic acid, is substituted at para position. So these are all the chemical reactions of the phenols, like Haber-Bosch reaction. In the Haber-Bosch reaction, the final reactant is the final product is the ketone. Then Gotterman reaction. In the Gotterman reaction, the final product is the aldehyde, which is substituted to the benzene ring. Similarly, we have also seen the some of the electrophilic substitution reactions of the phenols. So this is about the phenols. Next, very small topics, that is the ethers as well as epoxides. So ethers are nothing but this is the ROR. So here R is nothing but any alkyl group or any phenyl group. This is the general formula of the ether, ROR. So for ethers, there are many examples are here, many compounds here. So here this compound name is called as, here the common name is dimethyl ether. Dimethyl ether. So nothing but here oxygen which is connected with the two alkyl groups or two aryl groups. Any compounds are called as ethers. So for this IUPAC nomenclature, then we have to write here one of this alkyl group which is directly connected to the oxygen. So here we have to say methoxy. Then the remaining one carbon we can say the methane. So another compound, this name is called as, first we have to whenever two different substituents are present on the oxygen, then we have to write according to the alphabetical order. Then this is the ethyl substituent, this is the methyl substituent. First E letter will come, then first we have to write the ethyl, comma methyl, then we have to write the ether. This linkage is called as ether linkage. So ethyl, methyl, ether. Then when we write the IUPAC nomenclature, then we have to write the, we can say methoxy or ethoxy, but we have to do this one. This is the long chain which is having the two carbons. Then this is we have to consider as a substituent. Then we have to say the methoxy ethane. Similarly, when two same alkyl groups are present, then this name is called as diethyl ether. Then the IUPAC nomenclature is ethoxy ethane. So these cyclic ethers are called as epoxides or oxiranes. So this is the ether linkage is nothing but O or R linkage is called as ethers. This cyclic linkage, that means the ring formation of these ethers are called as epoxides or oxiranes. So this name is called as ethylene because two carbons are present, ethylene. Then this oxygen, when it is connected with the two alkyl groups in the ring form, then that compound name is called as epoxide. Epoxide is nothing but this linkage. This circle, not circle, it's a cyclic linkage is called as epoxide. So very important preparation of the ether, that is Williamson's synthesis. Very important. This is the generally used preparation method to prepare the ether. And also it's very important. So what is Williamson's synthesis? Alkyl halides, when it reacts with the sodium alkoxide, then to produce the ethers are known as the Williamson's ether synthesis. So here this is the alkyl halide. When it reacts with the, here this name is called as sodium alkoxide because R here which is directly connected to the oxygen. So alkyl halide, when it reacts with the sodium alkoxide. So from this alkyl halide, halogen will be eliminated as X minus. From sodium alkoxide, sodium is eliminated as Na plus. So Na plus and X minus will be eliminated as a sodium halide. So from here, and there is a bond formation between the R plus and OR minus, then ether formation will be takes place. This is the ether. If you see the examples of the Williamson's synthesis, then first example is the methyl bromide when it reacts with the sodium methoxide. Then from this compound bromine, from this compound sodium, so here which is having the plus charge, whereas here this is Na is having the plus charge, whereas oxygen is having the minus charge. So this minus charge will make the bond with this methyl plus, then which forms the dimethyl ether. So another example, ethyl bromide when reacts with the sodium ethoxide, then which produces the diethyl ether. Then if you see the another example here, suppose if you want to prepare this compound, this compound, then which alkyl group we have to take, or which alkyl halide we have to, which alkyl halides are generally used to prepare this compound. So in this case, here one is the primary alkyl halide, another one is the tertiary alkyl halide. So which alkyl halide we have to take to prepare this compound? One is we can take as a methyl bromide, another one we can take the tertiary butyl halide. So which group we have to take? Then suppose here when this methyl halide, this is the to prepare this compound, then this is the methyl halide when it reacts with the this compound, then the final product will be formed this one. Because in this case, what will happen here, methyl after liberating this Br minus, this is the primary carbocation, highly unstable, so easily react here, O minus easily react here to prepare this compound. Whereas if you take this with this one tertiary butyl halide as a reactant, instead of taking the primary methyl halide, then here what will happen after removing the bromine, then it will get the stable carbocation, then which won't quickly it reacts with this compound. So to prepare this compound, then there is a two possibility to take these alkyl halides. One is methyl halide, as well as we can take the tertiary butyl halide. But instead of taking the tertiary butyl halide, then to prepare this compound here we have to take the primary alkyl halide, that is the methyl halide, as well as this compound we have to take to prepare this compound, not this combination. Similarly, for aromatic compounds also aromatic ethers also we can prepare by using this Williamson's synthesis. So to prepare those compounds, sodium phenoxide when it reacts with the methyl bromide, so from here bromine as a bromide, from here Na plus will be eliminated as a sodium bromide. So finally this group is substituted here. This compound is called as a anisole. So here methyl phenyl ether. So this compound name is, the general name is called as anisole. Like this Williamson's ether synthesis, we can prepare all the different types of the ethers. So another way, that is the alkenes, another method. By this method also we can prepare the ethers. So in this method, alkenes react with the alcohols in the presence of the acid, also gives the ether. So here it is the 2-methyl propane when it reacts with the methanol in the presence of the H2SO4 here, which is the addition reaction. So one of the, from this methanol, one of the hydrogen will be attached to the one carbon, another CH2OH group will be attached to the another carbon, then finally which produces the tertiary butyl methyl ether. Tertiary butyl methyl ether. So in the presence of the acid catalyst, first this H plus will be attacked here, then another this CH3O minus will be attacked to the one of the carbon, then one of the H plus will be attacked to the another carbon, then which produces the tertiary butyl methyl ether. So these are the preparation methods of the ethers. If you see the physical properties of the ethers are colorless, sweet smelling, volatile, as well as they are combustible substances. And these are the highly non-polar compounds, hence these are partially soluble in water. Ethers have low boiling points because of the having absence of the hydrogen bonding. So these are the physical properties of the ethers. If you see the chemical properties, there is no active group in the ethers, so they show the inert nature in the reactions like metals, bases, oxidizing, reducing agents. Hence, they have the very few chemical properties. Actually, these are almost, we can say, the inert in nature. So, if you see the reaction with the concentrated H2SO4, heating of ethers with the concentrated H2SO4, then it produces the alkyl halogen sulfase. So this is the ether, diethyl ether. When it is heated, it reacts with the concentrated H2SO4, then which produces the ethanol as well as ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Then another reaction, so ethers, when it reacts with the cold HI, that is hydrogen iodide, to form the alkyl iodide as well as alcohol. Then another way, when it reacts with the different mixed ethers. So this is the diethyl ether. When it reacts with the HI, then which produces ethanol as well as ethyl iodide. When it reacts with the mixed ether, then halogen atom always attached to the small alkyl group, because here already this iodide is a bulky group, then which attached to the small alkyl group among these two different alkyl groups. So here this iodide will be attacked among these two, which is the smaller group. Then iodide will be attacked to methyl group, then which produces a methyl iodide, whereas this group will be eliminated as a ethanol. Ethers also can react with the hot concentrated HI to form the 2 moles of the alkyl halide. When it reacts with the cold HI, one alcohol, one iodide will be produced, whereas when it reacts with the hot HI, then which produces the 2 moles of the iodide, as well as the byproduct is water. If you see that whenever ether is reacting with the hydrogen halide, the reactivity of the hydrogen halide order is, first one is the HI is more reactive, then HBr, then HCl. So this is about the ethers. Ethers are less reactive towards any metals or oxidizing agents as well as reducing agents. Almost we can say these are the inert in nature. And also only one famous synthesis is there to prepare the all types of the ethers, that is Williamson's synthesis. In this Williamson synthesis, when alkyl halide, when it reacts with the sodium alkoxide, then which produces the ethers. So this is about the today's class. So next class we are going to discuss about the next topic. Thank you for watching.